What's up? How you doing? Here we are, Sunday night. The weekend is over. But tonight, I'm going to talk about a couple of cameras here that we had back when I was a kid. Nobody had Nikons back then. A few people had them, but people we knew, they all had those, push the button, no focus cameras, like Kodak Instamatic 100. Get that. So this is what we had when I was growing up. Had one of these, and we were very conservative when it came to taking pictures back then. Nowadays, you take a picture of anything. Might even take 15 pictures of something you really don't want to take a picture of, but you say just in case. But back then, you would go and buy a 24 exposure, usually 24 exposure. You would put it into the camera. Matter of fact, I have an unopened film right here. Look at that. Never been opened. Anyway, you'd go to the pharmacy, because apparently that's the only place that had film, the pharmacy. And the pharmacist would sell you that film. And you'd put it in here, and then you'd go to a family get-together, or maybe you were going on vacation or something like that, and you would take pictures. There was no focusing involved, nothing. You just aimed, and everything was like tiny in here. You aimed and pushed this button up here, and you took a picture. And then for a few more bucks, you would go and develop it at the same pharmacy, and the pharmacist would say, come back in a week, they'll be ready. And then you would get these photos that lacked definition. But that's what we used back then. Kodak Instamatic 100. This one has a built-in flash. Look at that. Built-in flash up top. This camera was perfect for my mother. I don't think I could ever teach you how to use a Nikon with all that focusing thing going on. The pictures would all be blurry. So anyway, we had this, and then the Instamatic Kodak 104 came out. This one's a bit heavier. Look at that. Put the flash up top. Comes with a flash here. Look at that. Put it up top here, and then anytime you took a picture, you had to tell everybody, hey, I'm going to take a picture. Everybody ready? And everybody would get into their position, and you'd hit the button, and you'd have a memory of that occasion. Nowadays, you just take random pictures. You could take hundreds of pictures, and it's no big deal because they all go on that little disc, and you erase it and you keep using it. So yeah, and this one has a film inside. Wonder what that's all about. But yeah, that was it. And we thought this was the best camera. I know we knew people that had we knew a couple of people that had the fancy cameras, but everybody was like, what do you need that for? Well, you need those because they capture definition. They make better pictures. So that's that. Got a bunch of flashes over here. But in those days, this was like a good gift. Somebody wrap it up for Christmas, give it to you, you're all excited, you get an Instamatic. But in those days, that's what we used, and basically we used them because we didn't know how to use the expensive ones, and they were popular. This thing sold millions of cameras. Now Kodak, where's Kodak now? I don't even know what Kodak is. Do they even make film? I don't think so. And I think to get film for these is very difficult. My father had an 8mm camera, motion picture camera, 8mm, and he would buy the cartridge once again at the pharmacy, because the pharmacist also was a salesman for film, and it was $8. I remember it was $8. My father would say, "I got to get some film for the movie camera." $8, 3 minutes long, and then $8 to develop it. No editing. My father didn't sit there and splice things together and make a little, interesting video. Whatever he shot, could have been just, one whole thing of the backyard. Matter of fact, one time we went to Philadelphia, and my father thought it was a good idea to videotape the drive. And so we have 3 minutes of him just driving. No editing, just driving. But it was 16 minutes altogether for 3 minutes of movie. 3 minutes. Very expensive. Nowadays you buy one of those scan discs, and you can do like hours of filming, if you want to call it filming, hours, and then once you're done, you erase it and use it again. Much better now than back then. A lot cheaper. And the cameras now, they're high quality. So that's how it was back then. But I've always liked the 8mm. It had a rich look to it. Looked like those old-fashioned movies from the 70s. So anyway, Instamatic 104, Instamatic 100. That's it. Another weekend come and gone.